So, looking at NHL.com and looking just at stats. So, I want to make this clear right at the start. I'm not saying these guys had bad seasons. I'm saying I think these guys have the ability to bounce back and produce better stats. Now, one of the factors that I put into this is how old's the guy? If he's in his 30s, the odds of him bouncing back are a little less. Because Rick Nash for me is close. He only had 38 points this last season in 65 games. I think it was 65. And I think he's capable of more. But due to the fact he's in his 30s, and I don't know how much he'd bounce back. So these are the top 10 guys I think that essentially really underperformed in terms of their points totals. So there may be guys who scored goals, but I think their points totals were short. So I get asked about, who are your favorites for fantasy? I'm not, I don't do the fantasy hockey thing much. I'm not great at it. But these are guys I think that are due for a bounce back in 17-18. At number 10, I'm looking for the logo of the team he belongs to. It is the Vancouver Canucks. And it's Loui Eriksson. And before anybody says, oh, of course, Loui Eriksson, a Canuck. Eriksson's 11 goals and 24 points are an extremely low mark. Even if he has a poor season, he has to score 15 goals and about 40 points this year. His point total has to go up by about 15 points. And that's still leaving him as a disappointment. But a 15-point differential is nothing to sneeze at. And I think he's capable of it. I think he's capable of more. It's just a matter of finding line mates he has the right chemistry with and getting his confidence back. Number 19, I'm looking for you, LA. Anze Kopitar, 12 goals, 52 points. Anze's capable of so much more. People take shots at him for his speed, which is fine. I've been in that realm as well. I know during last season there was the one overtime game where I think it was against Minnesota where right off the face-off, Kopitar just watched this guy goes around him and scores. And it is hard to watch him 3-on-3. But 12 goals is extremely low of Kopitar, and I really think he can make a comeback from that. Number 8, looking for you, Montreal. Brendan Gallagher. I don't like Brendan Gallagher. People who've been fans of this channel for any longer than a week probably know that. But 10 goals, 29 points is a low mark for Gallagher, and he's capable of being a 50-point player. I know that. I had debated about whether I would put Shaw or Gallagher up here. To me, Gallagher has the better offensive instincts than Shaw. But you're really splitting hairs. I just think Gallagher has farther to come back. And I think he will. So, we'll see. Number 7. I don't have Vegas. So I'm going to have to grab Florida. Push you down. Riley Smith. Riley Smith with 15 goals, 22 assists, 37 points. But now Smith's going to be playing in Vegas. Smith's going to get prime ice time. Smith is going to be played, I think, a lot by the Golden Knights. And I think just based on that alone, he'll have a statistically solid season. I think 50 points is completely doable for him. But we'll see. Number 6. I got to find you, Avalanche. Gabriel Landeskog. So Gabriel didn't have a great season. 18 goals, 15 assists, 33 points. He's capable of more than that. And I think he'll bounce back. Again, with Colorado's current state of affairs, they really need to change the culture there. They need to change the feeling, the mood. They got to change a lot of things in Colorado. A lot of things have to go right. But Landeskog's young enough, and he's put up decent totals in the past, and I really think he can turn it around. Number 5, I'm going to need a Red Wing logo for this. Dylan Larkin. Red Wings fans, rejoice. I've said I thought Larkin was overrated as a rookie. That being said, 17 goals and 32 points is just too low for Dylan Larkin. He's better than that. I honestly believe he's better than that. He had some really bad luck this year. The team had some bad luck overall, and I think it'll improve for him. I had debated about him or Nyquist on this list. Gustav Nyquist didn't have a great year either offensively, but I think Larkin is the better of the two. And I think he has a better chance of bouncing back. Number 4, we're going to Dallas for this one. Jamie Benn, 26 goals, 43 assists, 69 points. Good season, But Benn is capable of 82 points. And with new coaching in there and hopefully a new attitude and a new culture for them as well, that whole thing that Colorado's looking for, I really think Jamie Benn's totals are going to go up. I had thought about Spezza in this list as well, but again, Spezza's over 30, and he's at that stage in his career where he's probably a 50-point player, but Benn is capable of bouncing back. Number 3, Flyers. Claude Giroux. 14 goals. That's what stands out to me. 58 points, 14 goals. Giroux is capable of so much more than this. He has a lot left in the tank, and I really think that with the right line mates and with the right breaks, I really think he can get back into the 70-point range. He's never going to be an Art Ross winner, but Giroux has got some decent offensive instincts, and I really think that's going to be a low mark for him. For Philly to get better, they really need him to get better too. They need his totals back. They need that hunger back. For number 2, I can't do Colorado twice because I only got one Colorado logo at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Arizona because there's no Arizona on this list. And I'm going to go with Nathan MacKinnon. McKinnon's 16 goals and 53 points. That's criminal. MacKinnon has a tremendous amount of talent. I mentioned him when I did the number 1 draft picks video. And I talked about how he needed a change. Whether it's a change in Colorado, a change in culture, or just a change out of Colorado. Something has to change for MacKinnon. He should be scoring 70, 75 points right now. And the fact that I have Landeskog and MacKinnon on this list, and I debated whether or not to throw Duchesne on this list, shows just how Colorado has all this talent, and they have to figure out how to either get the most out of it or trade it and get the most back. Get back what you can and make sure that not all of your young players ripen and wither on the vine, so to speak, because they've got all kinds of young talent, and yet the stats from last year make them look like an expansion team. It's just wrong. And number 1 on the list, a guy who had a pretty decent season, but for Kuznetsov, 19 goals, 59 points. He had 77 the year before. I expect him to get to 77, 80 points again. I thought about Ovechkin as well, but Ovechkin's 33 goals and 69 points aren't bad. And I don't know that Ovechkin's ever going to get back up to 50. He could, but it just seems to me like he's not getting the same amount of ice time. I think it's coaching as much as anything. That's the funny thing. I don't hate on Ovechkin, and I'm not saying that he's not in the Maurice Richard trophy conversation because he's not capable. I just think that with the way he's being played right now, with the fact they're bumping him down the lineup, and I can't understand why. Maybe with the fact they have no depth now, maybe they'll have to go back to him and he'll get back to 50-goal range and back into the Maurice Richard category. But for me, Kuznetsov has all of the talent in the world. He absolutely, if he puts it together and has a season like he's capable of, I think that 59 is a low point. So what you guys can do is let me know your picks for guys you think are going to bounce back from statistically poor. And I'm not talking about advanced stats. I'm not talking about, this guy really had a good season. You're not looking at it right. I just mean strictly from a goals, points point of view, guys who I think are capable of a lot more. And this is actually my way of saying these 10 guys underachieved in 16-17, and I think they'll do better in 17-18. It's a matter of how much better. That's really it to me, but we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.